Second match of the night, which was added to the show, that I think a lot of people have known it's been going to be happening for a while, but it has just not been advertised on WWE.com, is the new Intercontinental Champion going up against your former Intercontinental Champion. Probably the one guy who's held the Intercontinental Championship more than almost anybody on the roster. That's Kevin Owens going up against Chris Jericho. This one makes me really scratch my head. Because as a listener to the Chris Jericho podcast, basically when Chris Jericho told the story about his day in the life of basically being called by WWE, asking if he will be the surprise partner at Night of Champions, and then once he got there, everything that he went through, and just basically saying that when they asked him to do the match at Night of Champions, he wanted to know why he should be the partner. He wanted to know where it was going. He basically wanted to know a layout of, where his character progression was going. And at the end of the match, of course, Chris Jericho took the tag from Roman Reigns, who wasn't, Roman Reigns was owning that match. And basically Jericho did the blind tag, tagging him from behind, coming into the match, and then falling to defeat. And basically, it looked like the Shield was going to turn on Chris Jericho. And then, out of nowhere, it seemed like they sort of looked at it like, it's only one day. We lost tonight, but we'll win the war in the long run. Ambrose and Reigns stuck out their hand to sort of greet Chris Jericho, saying good match. And Jericho sort of put his shoulder down and ran it right through Dean Ambrose, making you think that a Chris Jericho versus Dean Ambrose match might be coming along in the future. I don't know if this is what's being played up on house shows, and this is what they talked him into it, but basically with that sort of a definition of why Chris Jericho was the surprise partner at Night of Champions, I was thinking we were going to see some sort of return of Chris Jericho to television, and now the word is that basically Jericho's house show tour of WWE is coming up to be over soon, and then he's going to be leaving to go tour with Fozzy, and we don't even really know if he's going to be a part of WrestleMania in the foreseeable future. So I don't know what this plan was for Chris Jericho. Maybe they just something they did talked him into this. I think that honestly this should be a good match. I heard rave reviews about the Owens versus Jericho match in Los Angeles. That was a part of the WWE live tour. I think that honestly when they talk about these this live from Madison Square Garden show, it should be hyped like it's a main big show, but at the same time, they should be treating this tonight with the live announcers, basically using this as a commercial for WWE Live to come see house shows. Yes, on the ticket, it might not say Raw, it might not say SmackDown, it might not even say a pay-per-view's name. It might just come see WWE Live, and it might say, with John Cena or whatever the heck they put on the tickets these days. I've never gone to a bad house show. I've always had a ton of fun. Even the show that I went to in Sacramento back in January, I believe, when I just sat in like the 100 section. I was pretty far away from the ring, but I had pretty good seats at the same time. And I just went along. Booed the heels, cheered the faces, went along with the chants. I bought a Hulk Hogan and a Macho Man Randy Savage pop head, and at the end of the day, I got my money's worth. I think it was like $45 for the ticket, and to see live wrestling, it only comes to town a couple of times a year. It's gonna be fun, but in this one, you got to take Owens to beat Jericho, unless they do some sort of a screw job finish. Maybe Owens walks out on Jericho. One way or another, Owens is keeping the title, is what I'm trying to get to, but this should be a really good one. Kevin Owens has wrestled big guys, he's wrestled small guys. He's a really good wrestler. He always finds a way to have a good match with just about anybody. And, wrestling live from Madison Square Garden is going to be one hell of a treat for Kevin Owens. I'm not sure if it's his first time, but definitely with this being televised, it's going to be one to remember.